Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another episode of Halo. That is episode number 8, Allegiance. And this was a pretty interesting episode. IMDb gave it a 7.3. What do you think
Yes.
about that rating?
I think it's fair. I mean, we
You
got a
think
little
it's
bit of
fair?
action. They moved the storyline along, so I think that's about fair. We have some critiques, but we'll get to that later.
7.3, man. That's I mean, it was obviously much higher than,
Yeah,
the Quan Han episode.
yeah. They
But
jump right back in the stratosphere, like, okay, thank God, no more Quan. All right, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, exactly, man. What you think about this episode?
It was interesting. Okay, like there's things that I was like, okay, this is cool. This seems like Halo. And there's some stuff that they put in the show. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Like you're like, you know what? We have free budget. No one's gonna come, no one from Paramount or 343 or Microsoft's gonna come down here and yell at us.
no,
YOLO. Do whatever we want.
exactly.
That's what it felt like.
It was just like, hey, let's throw this on the wall. It's sticking. Let's use it.
Yeah, like
How they,
we got killed 10 minutes. Like, just go. Just do it.
how they're coming in and out. They're bringing Quan back. They're not. She's doing a whole episode. It's just like I don't understand why you gave her a whole entire episode, and then you're coming back with like Halsey and Paragoski or Goski or whatever her name is, and
But
then
here's the
everyone
thing
else.
though. With Quan, if you got rid of last week's episode, you wouldn't have missed anything.
Nada.
The show would have ran smooth like it never existed. It was
I
not
know.
necessary.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't understand her, but we won't talk about her. We'll talk about
Yeah, we just gonna skip
Allegiance
over Quan.
with
Quan
everything
doesn't
else.
exist today, right?
She doesn't exist anymore. There were a lot of weird things in this episode. It was just
Mm,
like an example. One thing is this, right?
mm.
Why is it that Halsey has complete control over the Spartans and no one can override her? No one has like a system or anything like that. No one has like
Yeah,
no protocol or something, not a button or, just like, hey, this person is over Halsey. She has complete control and no one took that away
yeah.
from
I,
her.
I think that is a oversight on the UNSC. It's like okay. First of all, it's out of character, but also I can't believe the UNSC let this kind of thing happen
Yeah.
on the base. The Spartans were about to go rogue, and no one noticed. That's the other thing. These guys were bare ready to start blasting up the place, and nobody was like, "Wait a minute, where are the Spartans? What are these
Yeah.
guys doing in this corridor?" They didn't even notice. She turned off the comms and had the Spartans go rogue, and not a single person noticed until like it was convenient for them to notice.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And they're like they're basically dealing with her with kid gloves because there's so many
Mhm.
things that they could have done, right? They could have said, okay, you know what? She is a menace. Let's take all of her features, all of her software, all of her
Yeah, just turn
computers,
it off.
all of her
Get it
access
out.
from her. Let's go to
Yeah.
her room, raid it, make sure she doesn't have any weird contact lenses that can, gain access
Or
into
you throw her
someone's
in
system.
jail.
Yeah,
Like, you're gonna
exactly.
sit in jail while we go through your stuff, and then we're gonna send it
Exactly.
over there.
And I don't understand that. It's just like you're leaving at 12 o'clock, whatever. And it's just like, okay, but she's still in this. Oh, and they're giving her shit back with all the technology in it. Come
Yeah,
on.
that don't make no sense. That's just silly.
You
That
bring
I
in
think
the
those are plot
MPs,
conveniences.
you bring in the MPs, they like grab her up, hem her up.
Mhm,
Like now we're taking you, you're coming on our ship and we're going to take you
mhm,
off world. We're going to drop you off. We're going to send your
mhm.
things to you. And that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah. Like, that's how they're to presenting it to you, but they're like, "Okay, and you're gonna stay in your hotel or your house or whatever, and your Uggs, you're gonna relax all day drinking wine
She was in like
for a week?" I don't know how long she was in there in solitary
she was in,
confinement. She did a lot of damage while she was waiting to pack her stuff.
in her,
Like,
exactly. It's just like,
she got
okay, I
her
have an
foot buzzy
hour before
slippers
the
on.
plane leaves. It's time to like wreck shop. Come on.
She literally could have taken over the whole base. That's how much leeway and time she had.
Yeah.
Which doesn't like they're like, this is pressing. We're gonna get her out of here right now. Also, you can stay in your house for a week and do whatever you're doing unsupervised. What? Like
It's
it,
just
it was like they wrote it this way, but in action they went a different way. Like what they were presenting us on the screen. I don't know. I it didn't match what they were trying to say.
this episode should have been called the lounge episode because Halsey was in a really cool lounge outfit.
Yeah, yeah, she was
Master Chief
chilling.
was in pajamas. I mean, he was in pajamas the whole time. It's just like, dude, where's your armor?
Okay, I think this episode also has to note there's multiple things that happen in this episode where Master Chief should have been in his armor with his helmet on.
All
All
day.
of them. And Riz too.
Yeah.
Or not Riz, was it Riz?
No,
Who's
it's old girl
Kai.
Kai. Yeah.
Kai, yeah. Kai helmet on. He's straight. They punched her in the head. There was like curtains right there. She was
Kai
out.
seemed like she took some Molly. She was having a good time, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
She was like, making money, just doing goofy stuff.
Yeah, just lifting up
you
stuff.
know,
Like
just like, hey, I'm strong without my uniform on, without my Spartan uniform on. You want to
yeah.
give a
Like, all
brief
right.
overview and we can get into it? A
All
lot.
right. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened this episode. So Master Chief is kind of he's hanging out with Mackie a lot, unsupervised at my just walking around.
Yeah.
I think they had like an MP back there, but like let's be honest, all right. She should be handcuffs with guns on her, trained on her, like she's Hannibal Lecter or something like that. The way
Yeah.
she's walking around. Master Chief was like, "Hey, I'll be right back," and that was the end of that. Like what? Like she's
She
walking
could
around
have
the base,
bounced.
just looking at flowers. Like
Serious.
what the? That didn't make any sense. All right. So they the Covenant destroyed a planet. So you finally got to see what Glassing is going to look like. So what's going to happen in the pretty near future, maybe even the next show. I don't know.
Mm.
Pretty soon. That's what they saw it. Everyone's like screaming and crying. So that was interesting. Um, Master Chief gives Mackie a book, and they started playing some
Reading
Marvin
is
Gaye. They
fundamental.
got it on. That's all it took. It got a book for you. Like here you go. I know some poems.
Yeah.
So
They're
that
about to do like
happened.
poetry slam and whatnot, at the
I gotta
coffee
say,
shop,
like,
at the local coffee shop.
it is alarming how little security is on Mackie right now. They should have like a hover, like, because you can see it for Halsey. They had that drone outside of her window.
Yeah,
But for Mackie, you got nothing?
nothing at
The
all.
guys at the door listening to Kyle, like, hey, who's talking back there? That was it? That's all you have? Like,
Even Master Chief said, I mean, you get thrown out of a out of a ship by the Covenant,
mhm.
and you just come here and we're not supposed to expect anything from you, or like
Yes.
you're an
Like, what
enemy
the
or
fuck?
something. Yeah,
That didn't make any sense. Like I would have had her in handcuffs the whole time with a guard watching her and like a chain, like a
mhm.
like a ball and chain, like one of those
Yes,
attached to her
exactly.
leg,
Old
like
school,
old school.
Sing
Just like you
Sing.
can't leave. And we gonna watch you and got some trained guns on you at all time. Like that's what I would have done. But like
Supermax.
apparently, yeah, they're like, yo, here's some clothes. Hope you like this. Master Chief's door later. He's got some books, and yo, whatever happens, happens. We've got some fancy music for you. Like, I don't know what that was. That was wild. Like that entire sequence was not Halo. I don't know what that was. And and the thing is, it goes back to like the guys who are writing this show, they're doing stuff because they can, not because they need to. Because Quan is because we can, not because we need to. And Master Chief and Mackie getting it on is because we can, not because we need to. Because it didn't add anything to the story. It didn't help them, their relationship, whatever. And she said some crazy stuff when they were out in the park about, hey, what's gonna happen? And once you take over the Halo ring, and she looked at him crazy. He was like, "What the?"
He should
Like,
have
like
switched
he
her
gave it
right
a look,
there. He
like,
should have switched her up
yeah.
right there. Like, oh wait, you're gonna cleanse everything else? Like, really?
He
Like,
looked at
okay,
her crazy when she said, "We're gonna cleanse the people that are unbelievers or whatever." Like, what?
right?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's your first clue. You got some red flags there. But all right, all right.
Mhm.
And then we get to Halsey. Halsey got an eye contact, some kind of thing to recreate her daughter's eye, and she got DNA and all these codes and all this stuff to take over the base. And I thought that was hilarious, but I'm like, Cortana's just sitting at the desk. Like, why didn't you use her to go get these things for you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be easier for Cortana to just break in and get access to the base and take control over it than you doing it the old fashioned way. That didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I
I
mean
don't know.
this is a super AI user, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You have a super AI with the first of its kind that can break any code or whatever. And she's like the way she was talking before, like I do this in my sleep. So, like, use her. I don't understand that. So she
Yeah.
gets access to the base and tells all the Spartans that hey, Master Chief's guy, he's getting kind of fuzzy here. We we got to ignore him. We got a mission to complete. We're gonna get the artifact and bring it to my ship and take out Master Chief. And all the Spartans are like, all right, cool. And then Kai was like, what? Wait, what? Kai was like, I got more questions. And they're like, oh no, she's broken her conditioning. So
Yeah.
they blocked Kai out and they knocked her out and
Knocked her
took her
out.
out to the barracks and they tied her up, which is another instance where the Spartans should never take off your helmet when you're in the field. Because
Right.
they just punched her in the head and she was out. Like,
They punched her twice. They look, man,
yeah,
that, oh my
they gave
goodness.
her a two
She got
piece
a
and a
headache.
biscuit, man.
She got a headache, man. She better. I hope she doesn't have an HMO plan because she's gonna
Woo!
have to go see her like primary specialist first,
Yeah,
and
you've
then
got a
get a referral to go see a brain doctor.
yeah, you got a concussion, right?
You need like a
You
PPO,
double.
like after you got hit with that.
Yeah, you got a
For real.
extra Popeyes with the biscuit they gave her. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. She got lumped up.
Yeah, so Master Chief is taking Mackie over to the artifact because he trusts her now, which I guess she did almost try to kill him, and then she decided against it. So I guess he believes he can trust her.
Right.
So they decided to take over to the outer artifact and see what happens. And Halsey's trying to stop it. Middle of all that, uh, Miranda Keys is trying to decode the audio transmission from that
Mm.
ship.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh crap, it was Mackie all the time. So she's
Duh.
running down there. You can see her running in slow motion. I gotta
Yeah.
tell them.
Mhm.
And she finally gets there during the fight with the Spartans. Yeah. Shenanigans happens. Miranda's like, she's a traitor. And they basically stop everything. And
Yeah.
that's the end of the show. She gets to touch the artifact and she says goodbye to Master Chief.
Which which was I
Credits
don't
roll.
understand that either, but we'll get to that. Um,
Credits roll.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Mhm.
Master Chief got a little tang tang.
Yes. He's
Master
knocking them
Chief got
boots.
him some tang tang. Now let me ask you this as a Halo person, right?
Mhm.
Does in the video game, does Master Chief have like a love life?
No,
Is
not at
he
all.
is he like secretly attracted to someone?
No. I'll say he has an unusual connection to Cortana. It's kind of weird at some points, but that's about it. He's not he's not in love with anybody.
So
He's real particular about Cortana though.
how many versions of the game that like how many like this I guess this has been around for 20 years. How many versions of this game has been released?
A lot.
Okay. So
We
in
got like
any
the
of
main storyline. We
mhm.
have like they have strategy games. There's a bunch of stuff, but like there's a lot.
So in any of the versions of the video game, Master Chief never had a love interest.
No, no, you don't have time for that. You're in the middle of
He
a
doesn't even
war.
take his helmet off in the video games, right?
Take his helmet off. You're in the middle of a war. Like stuff's
Yeah.
going on. Bombs are going off. You're busy.
Okay, so that was like completely again, I'm not a Halo person, but when I saw that scene, I was like,
Mm.
okay, this is out of pocket right here.
It was very out of pocket.
You know, I was just like,
It was
he's
unusual.
having a love scene. He's a Spartan,
Yeah,
and he's having a
it
love
is wild.
scene with the enemy.
It was kind of wild because like here's the thing though. He hasn't confirmed that she's a good person yet. So why would he go to sleep next to her where she could try and kill him? She knows that the
Okay,
Covenant call him the
exactly.
demon. They're trying to get rid of him. He knows that she's down with them. They know that she has allegiance to them. Why would you go to sleep next to a person that could that's insane.
I don't
Why would you take
understand
your
that.
armor off?
Right.
Why would you go to sleep next to them? Why you
dude.
go there without any backup or anything? That's insane. Everything about that's stupid.
Right. You know, if okay, if he already started the deed, you know, in terms of like getting him a little, you know, yum yum cakes. And
Yeah, yeah. She put it on him and put him to sleep. That guy was
she's like,
asleep.
okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
he's strung out now. And it's just like he's strung out now. And she's like what, 5'2", he's like 8 feet
Yeah,
tall. I mean,
she's a
like,
tiny
come on.
person, tiny
Come
person.
on, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, I guess she has those
She's a
covenant
hobbit.
powers. Yeah, exactly. You said
She
a
spin
hobbit.
around like she's a hobbit, man. It's in the
Exactly.
air like a
That was
pizza. She's flipping around.
right, exactly. That was such a weird scene for me because again, I'm just like, why is this guy is walking around without a helmet, without his armor, he has pajamas on. It's just like, what is
Right?
going on? And
What are
then
you doing?
they make love or whatever it was, they make love and like you said,
Mhm.
then he's laying right next to her, not even knowing who she really is. What is
Yeah,
her
do
motive?
sleep.
What is the purpose of her being on reach? I don't get that, dude.
Insane. And
I don't get
he had
that.
to relieve the guard to go in there to do this in the first. Like it's all of
Yeah.
this is dumb. Like as far as military strategy, this is poor military strategy.
Yeah.
This is dumb. All right, I wouldn't suggest that you sleep with your enemy, just in case. I think that's a bad idea. I'm
It's dumb I mean, man, it was just come on. I don't know about that. And then you have okay, and then we got to talk about the how like it first started off, the episode started with Kai just
mm,
straight having fun. She's over there goofing
yeah, she's
off, picking up
bedding,
things, you
she's
know.
drinking beer, like she's
Yeah,
eating
I'm
hot dogs, like
like
she's
dropping.
living the life right now.
She dropped some Molly, and she was just having some fun, huh? I'm like,
Yeah,
man, what
she was
is
doing
up with
Coachella
her?
right there.
She was like
I
making
don't
money
know.
betting. I was just like, okay, I guess she doesn't have the emotional inhibitor back in, huh?
Mm. Yeah, so I mean I get it. Like she's acting like a child. Like I get that. Like that's fine
Yeah,
because like all the Spartans are still basically kids in the helmets, right?
yeah,
They're
exactly.
technically still kids. They're young. They aged them up quickly. They grew, but they're still basically kids.
Yeah,
So
but
like yeah, I was like, all
mhm.
right. I thought it was weird, but I was like, you know what? That's fair. All right, she took the chip out. She's acting weird.
I thought that like the Spartans, regardless of what what Halsey may say, who controls them, they all
Mm.
stood for each other. They were down for each other. They were like, you know what, regardless of
Yes.
what people say, you know, regardless of what sort of orders I have to do something against my own brethren,
Mm.
Spartans, I'm for Spartans. And Vanek and Riz, they're just, man, they're like, they're wired differently, huh?
I mean, like I'm sure there's like that in the military where you got
Hmm.
like Marines that are like orders by the books. But like most Marines are gonna look out for the other Marines. Like this is your brothers. You guys went to train together.
Right.
Like, if somebody says to do something crazy, I think a lot of guys would be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Let's
about
think
that,
about
you
this
know?
for a minute. I mean, I know people in the army and like they're they're rah 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 the army too, but like they're still these their brothers. Like they're not just gonna turn their back on them instantly.
Yeah,
But
exactly, man. That sounds you know, well they did that specifically because Halsey gave what was that, the Z protocol? I guess that's
yeah,
like
yeah, she
I have
told them.
control now.
Yeah, she told them, "Hey, everyone else is crazy. Just listen to me from here on out." So I mean, that's fair. Like we could say maybe they think that they're under some kind of mind control because the artifact or whatever. So
Mhm.
maybe that's what they did. What they did, but like generally, this I know from the Spartans, they look out for each other. There's no like, if somebody went down or somebody had a problem, like Kai's question would have been what they would have asked because she was like, "Well, where's Master Chief? What's going on? He's leader." That's what it would have happened.
Mhm.
This thing where they did, like, not asking questions, they would ask questions, like, they're
Right.
not robots, like, they're still
And
people.
okay, so you know, Halsey, I guess, is she the only person on Reach within the military complex that can, you know, just give out this Z protocol? No one else can override her. It seems like she has all of the power over the Spartans. No one else has like an off button if she like goes nuts.
Well, she created it, so I guess she put, like, some kinda backdoor into the system just in case things went awry so she can protect her bacon, which I it makes sense. I'm not appalled by that, or I don't think that's the outside of what okay, what she did to get the Spartans to go do that, out of the ordinary. She wouldn't have done that in the games or anything else.
Mhm.
But as far as her having some kind of backdoor, she would totally do that.
Yeah.
She's the unsavory person. I'll put it like that. But like what they did for this TV show, that would never have happened because
Yeah.
she's like they're trying to make a unnecessary wedge between the two of them, whereas they need her for the Covenant War. So like this thing would have never happened. She would have called up some 5-star general or whatever up in space fleet and be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
can you get rid of this person for me? They're asking questions." And that person would be somewhere in Siberia at the end of the day. And that'll be
You
the end of
know,
that.
shoveling snow
Yeah, that's what I'm
like
saying. Like
forever.
Halsey would have made a phone call to the president of UNSC or whatever, and that would be a wrap. That lady complained she would be on assignment somewhere. Like that's what would have happened. This would have never
Hal-
even gotten this far.
Halsey said when Jacob Keys came into the room, Halsey said,
Mm.
"I will sacrifice everything."
Yeah, that's consistent. Like that's consistent.
She will
That's good.
sacrifice you, her daughter, every
Mm.
military, general, the entire reach, whatever, right?
Mm.
She will sacrifice everything. She even like when she put on a contact and like, was able to speak to Maki like virtually,
Yeah,
right? Which was kind of
yeah.
which was kind of cool, the sort of
Yeah, it's just this
technology.
hologram.
Right. The technology that they're showing us in this this show is kind of cool, right?
Mm.
It's like but and I was just like, okay, so here she is, she has all of this access and no one is like, you know, scanning her room,
Yeah,
searching
like
her
what,
room,
like what the
just
hell's
like
going on in this thing?
taking you
Yeah.
off planet and searching everything, just looking at your software. Like no one has like who is the second person in charge if she's gone? If she gets hit by a bus, who's in control now?
I don't know. I think that admiral, that Margaret Zinsky, whatever her name is,
But he has
think
no
he's probably in
access
charge.
to, like how to turn this
She's
stuff on and off.
she's not even in the loop of what's happening on the base
Yeah,
right now.
not anymore, yeah. But you know what? And then weirdly enough, she's not in a loop, but she knows everything and she has control. She turned off all comms.
Yeah, she had all the stuff off. Like
Yeah,
it was wild. Like it seems like the UNSC is fun of bumbling idiots.
yeah,
And I would say this, like from the books and the games, whatever. UNSC is not bumbling idiots. They're kind of evil, but they're not idiots.
yeah.
They're not dumb. They're not incompetent. I'll put it like that. These guys in the TV show are incompetent. They're
It's
morons.
yeah, it's well, with Master Chief like just walking around. He was okay, this entire episode, he did not
Mm.
have his suit on or his helmet. Nothing.
Dude, why are you rocking around the base without your armor on? Under any capacity. I don't understand that. Master Chief doesn't. Here's the thing: the suit is designed to stay on for good. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to take it off.
Mhm.
Once you do the upgrade, like you don't. It's not like a 3-piece suit where you take it off on Tuesdays and you put it back on. Like once it's on, it's on. Because
Wow.
you're going right out to war. Like that's what it's for.
I don't know what's going on with this, but that was really weird. And then you had and again, visually this episode looked really dope, right?
Yeah, like the base looks cool. Like I like how Reach looks. Like it's nice and clean. Like it
Yeah, Reach
looks
looks really cool.
sci-fi.
Yeah,
Looks like Star
exactly.
Trek. Like
But it seems like the UNSC, they do some really ridiculous things. Okay, here you have this
yes.
person, Maki, walking around.
Mhm.
You bring Maki into the room where the artifact is, and you have one guard.
Hey, you had two. One of them's like, "Go find the other Spartans." The other guy's like, "Go find Mackie." Like,
Right.
what are you
As
guys
soon
doing?
as Miranda came in and said she's a traitor, they should have like, I know they were like, just trying to tase her or whatever, but they should have taken her out of the room, protect the
Yeah,
artifact, take her out of the room, and then just handle it from that point forward. But dude,
but
I don't get a
I have
lot of
a
this stuff. I mean, a lot of this
I have a
stuff doesn't make
question.
sense. What's up?
How is she eating that taser? He was just like, "Yo, hold this taser." He's just hitting it with her, and she's like, "This is fine." She just
She was
got
like,
up and touched the artifact like
yeah, she
nothing. Like,
just
how's she eating the taser?
I'm
She
telling
should have
you,
been
man,
knocked out. That
this
thing's like a
person
cattle prod. It's a future cattle prod. Like that should have
Listen,
you should have hit her one time, knocked her out, and she's done. She wakes up and attached to a bed somewhere, handcuffs. That's what
she
should have happened.
she created a story. They couldn't Article 72 her because she's creating a storyline. But like she probably again they should have like probably just Article 72 her off her because she's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yes.
Now she touched this, even though she touched the artifact and she's now on Halo. Um, well, the Covenant has the other one, but
Mm.
she doesn't have in possession the first artifact. Does she
Yeah.
need to have that in possession for the
Well,
Covenant to
I
do
think they
what they
got
want to
they
do?
got to touch each other. They got to
They got to
connect each
touch
other.
each
Like they go
other, right?
together.
Okay,
But here's the thing, right? Like she hasn't proven that she's not a traitor. But she's walking around freely like she's I gave you this letter that said I'm not a traitor, so I'm good now. Like
right,
she hasn't proven anything. She didn't prove anything to Master Chief. She hasn't even been interrogated by anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
sit her at the table with the polygraph and she's wired up or whatever and like read the thing on the screen. You haven't done anything. You haven't debriefed her. You haven't asked her any questions. Master Chief came to her room 2 times and that was like, we're good. We don't need cameras. We don't need those restraints, handcuffs. We don't need any of this stuff. Master Chief's got this in the bag. What? Like that was baffling to me. Like she hasn't proven herself that she can be trustworthy. She hasn't verified her story yet because she
nothing.
told everybody, you got to go look in this map somewhere. And Keys was like, I got 100 people looking over here. I can't find anything. I would
Wild
treat it.
goose
Oh, she's
chase.
lying. It's a wild goose hunt. All right, cool.
Yeah. And the reason why Miranda Keys knew she was a traitor is because she was deciphering she was
Mm.
basically she deciphered the video
Yeah,
or
that
the
call,
audio
the audio from
from the
that
Gladius, right?
yeah.
And then she heard her because she also was speaking that way in a room like in a few episodes back. And I
Mm.
was just like, okay. And then she was running, but obviously the comms were down. She ran to the room, and that's when she was
That
able
was
to say,
convenient.
she's a traitor. Yes, exactly. It's just like, you mean to tell me your systems, and I'm starting to realize that these systems, the
Mm.
software and computer systems on Reach or at the UNSC, they're not great because Halsey can go in and just take massive control over different pieces
Okay.
of these systems. Like really, where's the fallback? Where's the the back doors,
Yeah.
or where are the like hackers or the programmers that can see, that's reading the log files from the server or
Yeah, but
something.
like somebody in like the command center should have noticed, the comms are off.
Right.
Cause like, so you're telling me nobody in the base for the last 10 minutes of the show had to send a message and didn't realize all the comms were off? Like
Yeah.
nobody noticed this?
That's
It should have
insane.
been if the second the comms were off like that, it should have been the alarm should have been going off in the whole base
Right.
as an emergency. Like it's
Or like,
logically.
yeah, even an alert that says, "Oh, looks like someone's trying to access the system."
Yeah, you would treat it
Right?
like it's an attack or
Yeah.
something.
Don't have
Because
that.
the
And this
first
is
thing
like, yeah,
the
it's
first thing you would
crazy.
do is get rid of the comms so they can't communicate to send off the base or rockets or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to disrupt communications. That's the first thing in the attack. And
It's
they're
crazy.
already on high alert because they glassed that other planet. So I'm saying, like, the second somebody somewhere at a desk was like, hey, I can't contact anybody,
It's a
alarm.
red flag. Yes, exactly.
Agent Bob over there by the table, hit that alarm button for me. Cool. All right.
Exactly.
Done.
Now,
I got questions. Like, it's convenient, right?
it's crazy. Now, Halsey, she basically gave the Z protocol to the Spartans, three of them,
Mm,
until
mm.
Kai started
Yeah, just
questioning,
start
like,
asking questions.
just like, well, wait a minute, why are we gonna take this guy out?
Mm.
He's our boss, yada yada yada. That's the other thing. Like I said, she gave Z protocol. No one
Mm.
else. Who is the fallback? Who's the off button? Who has the off
They don't have
switch
one.
to turn like
They don't have
Halsey
one.
off?
They
That's
don't have one.
see,
There, but still,
that would never happen.
no,
Never.
because you would have gone to Halsey's thing and like, I'm ripping up these wires out of the wall, so you
Right.
don't have any access to anything.
Yeah.
And we're gonna lock this door. There's some guards at the door, and I'm gonna yank the Wi-Fi off of the roof if I have to myself. so that you can't talk to anybody. I would have done that, or move her to a different place. I don't know.
So she
Logically,
basically, Z protocol, if implemented to its fullest extent, and we don't know yet,
yeah, I don't know what
um,
that is. What that would have been doing.
right? But it basically means, she even says, she was like, "Listen, once I have Maki, I don't need John." So she's gonna like
Mhm.
kill this person, like she's basically brought up since he was 6.
Yeah, like she's oddly cold on this show. Like she's cold in general, but like she's extra cold on this show. Like I don't know what they're doing with that.
Yeah,
She
it's
she cares about the Spartans a lot. She doesn't want anything to happen to the Spartans. She wouldn't be like, I'm gonna get rid of John. Like that's highly unlikely.
yeah, and she's like, "Hey, we'll deal with Maki," and it's just like, well, you don't know this person,
Yeah, you don't know if she's even seeing what she can do. Like
right?
you just assume.
Like the only weapon that Halsey has is software, technology, programming. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
doesn't have any guns. She doesn't have anything like that. If Maki
Mhm.
pulls out that little thing she had in her finger, even though she removed it,
Yeah,
if she
she
pulls
pulled her
that out,
nail out.
yeah, it's just like she could just slice her up. It's just like, I don't understand that. And then,
Mhm.
speaking of Halsey, she was in there doing her like backdoor corrupt stuff, and Cortana was peeping her out the whole time.
Yeah, well, Cortana's a peeper. She was watching Master Chief too, so
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, that
yeah,
was
she's
kind of
around the
creepy,
corner
wasn't
like
it? Well, you know what? Cortana and Halsey was watching,
yeah. Yeah, that was extra creepy. Oh, that was creepy, man.
and while they were, Halsey was asking Cortana if they love each other, yada yada yada, and you can tell that Halsey was
Mm.
a little jealous, right? Like, hey,
It
Master
was
Chief is,
weird.
yeah, it's just, again, I'm not a game person. I have powered through a few games watching, cats on YouTube, and everything. And
Mm.
I did watch all the movies. This is totally out of like pocket.
Yeah, this
Totally
is
out of
out of
pocket.
unnecessary out of pocket.
Everything about this episode was out of pocket when it comes to true Halo, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. Completely out of pocket.
Yeah,
The things were just unnecessarily put into the show. I don't know if they're killing time or they couldn't figure out how to get to the end of the story. Because a lot of stuff was unnecessary. Like I don't agree with all the decisions they made. Like
and
yeah,
yeah.
we'll just leave it like that.
So Z Protocol, the Spartans go and they like try to locate
Mhm,
John. Um, Kai starts questioning, and you know,
mhm.
Halsey said, "Hey," he was speaking to Vanek and Riz,
It was
like, take
Riz.
her out, take your brother out. So they took her out.
Yeah,
Just like hemmed her up, like knocked her out, and then tied her up or something. And then they went and they started beating down Master Chief.
which goes back to why you wear your armor.
Right.
Wear your friggin' armor, dude, and a helmet, bruh.
But Cortana comes to the, like, not the rescue, but she starts helping them. She
Yeah, she
basically
lets
turns,
him.
right. She turns on Halsey and says, "Listen," Halsey like
Mm,
just drop Z protocol, and then she was
mhm,
helping him with moving and everything else, using like different weights to like hit people. So
mhm.
it's gonna be interesting to see how this relationship flourishes. In the episodes and seasons coming up, even though like in the video games they have a really close relationship, right?
Yeah, yeah, they have a super relationship. They're
Yeah,
very close. But like, see the thing is though, like, why are they trying to make Halsey like so distant from Master Chief? Because they need each other.
right.
Halsey's useful to Master Chief.
Mhm.
She's gonna upgrade his armor and a bunch of other stuff. Like she needs him still, or he needs her.
she
So like,
seems like she seems like she has a different motive now. She doesn't really care about John. It's all about this artifact.
yeah. Well, I mean, I just an artifact, but like the Spartan thing is valuable to you. You care about the program a lot. She's got to upgrade his armor like two more times and give him a grappling hook and a bunch of other stuff. Like, yo, she's got work to do. So, like, the fact that like Master Chief doesn't even want to talk to her or look at her, he tried to kill her already twice, right?
True.
And yeah, Halsey's like, all right, get rid of Master Chief. I don't care about the guy. Like, yo, What's going on right now? They need each other. Like this
This
is
is a
I don't like
mess,
where they're going
man.
with the writing room. They need to have an intervention and sit down and talk this thing out. They
Yeah,
need to fix this because what they're doing is wild. There's too much Quan, beef between Halsey and Master Chief.
yeah,
Too
too
much
much.
booty. Like this too. We're doing too much here. Like
Yeah,
let's bring it down.
you got Spartan.
More.
You got Spartans having
Yeah.
sex. Come on, come
Yeah.
on.
Like let's tone this down here. More battle. That's what we
Yeah.
need. More battle. More strategy. Let's get back
So
to the basics.
so we have one episode left, I do believe. We have
Mm.
one episode. Well, they're calling the ninth episode 9.1. Well, I guess that's the ninth episode, season one. We'll see. The episode was visually, it was sick. I mean, just the Reach City and everything else,
Mm.
how they showed the planet, like what it looks like after it's glassed. I'm like, wow, this looks ooh. I mean,
Yeah.
this looks like
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a volcano.
Yeah. It looks interesting. I want to see this. Like
Yeah.
I've seen it in the video game in Reach, but like I would like to see this in the TV show.
I don't
Like
even know.
it,
I haven't seen anything. I haven't watched anything yet to like see what the whole glassing is all about. How do the Covenant glass a planet? I want to see that.
well, you can see a YouTube people playing Reach on YouTube. It's gonna get real on the game.
So
They're gonna start
that's the
blowing
game
stuff
I have
up.
to watch. Reach.
Yeah, the fall of Reach. Like let's get to the towards the end of the game.
Hmm.
Whoever's playing it, they're like before they shoot off the rockets to get off the planet. That's what you want to see. They're gonna start glassing things, destroying all the buildings and all that other stuff. You kind of
Now,
see what it looks like.
now again, I'm new at this. Glassing is just like I guess the Covenant has like some sort of a weapon that just destroys these planets
They just
like
dropping
completely.
bombs,
That's it.
lasers and bombs. That's it. The
Okay.
nuclear fallout is gonna melt the planet down. Like that's basically what it
Wow.
is.
Wow. Okay. Was there anything in this episode that just totally freaked you out? Like, oh no, I can't.
Uh I didn't like the Spartans fighting each other over this thing. Like I
Mhm.
don't like how that went down.
Right.
Master Chief clapping the cheeks. I mean, it is what it is, all right? They try to get backing them together. Okay, I didn't agree with it, but like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Spartans fighting each other like the way they did. I didn't like that at all. Like they need to be on the same page, man. You need them.
Anything really great about this episode that you liked?
I don't know. I don't think nothing stood out to me that was amazing. I do like that the storylines moving forward. We're gonna finally get to the Halo Ray, so like that's good.
Yeah.
But like it is nothing like that was amazing to me. Like the fight with the Spartans was cool, but it should never happen. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and Master Chief should have been in his armor. If
Yeah.
it
All
should have been
day.
like a brief scuffle of like, yo, but I bad, we got miscommunication here, whatever. That should have ended quickly. Instead of like they almost killed him. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Like that, I didn't like that. They should never gotten that far. It should have been a brief scuffle, and they broke some stuff, smashed
That's
the
it.
car or whatever, and then they're like, okay,
Like,
you
oh,
know
I'm
what? We gotta work
sorry.
this
I
out.
didn't mean
Yeah.
to.
We're all Spartans. We gotta work this out. We'll figure this thing together. Like that's what
Right.
should have happened. I didn't like
I
what they were doing. Like I thought that was bad.
one of my worst the worst part in this episode for me was just all of the power that
Mhm.
Halsey has, and like there's no
He's like,
like stopgap, there's no like no off
what
switch.
in the
She can just do all
hell?
these things, right? It's just like I don't believe that. That's not how technology works. So that's just
Yeah,
kind of
but like,
strange to me.
if Halsey could do it, the Covenant could do it easier.
Right?
Because they're way
Exactly.
more advanced than she is.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, my best part of this episode was everything that Cortana was in. Cortana
Mhm.
is starting to come into her own again, being new to Halo.
Yeah, she's
She's
being
starting
less
to
annoying.
she's being less annoying, and she's like, listen, I've got to work with Master Chief. This is the person I was put here, I was created for.
Mhm.
And Master Chief is also helping me find out that, hey, you know what? Halsey's been like deleting files, doing all this crazy
Yeah, you
stuff,
can't trust her.
nuking like, histories of like all the Spartans. So she
Mhm.
started stuff is starting to click with her. And she's like, I got to go
Mhm.
help Master Chief because that's what I was put here for. Um, So that was pretty interesting. All the stuff that Cortana got into. I'm starting to like Cortana a lot more, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, because she's being useful, like the
Yes,
game. Because
exactly,
that's what she would do. Like, hey, there's some soldiers behind you. Hey, let me
exactly.
open
Yep.
this door for you. That's what she does. She's not watching you getting getting it on like Marvin Gaye. Like she's busy helping you do stuff,
Right, right,
accomplish the
exactly,
mission, protecting your neck
exactly,
to help you get survive. That's what she's doing.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. All right, Keo, what are you rating Halo episode number 8, Allegiance?
um, I would give it a 6.5. I think
Oh,
it's it,
6.5.
yeah, yeah. I give it a 6.5. There's a lot of stuff that it bothered me during this, so I don't know what these guys are doing in the writing room. But like, see the thing though, overall, I liked it. Like it wasn't like the Quan episode. Like
Yeah,
overall, I liked it, but it's like a couple of things. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, first of all, get Master Chief in his friggin' armor. Put this guy in the helmet, damn it.
yeah, yeah.
And also like Miranda's being extra evil here. I mean, not Miranda, Halsey. Halsey's
Halsey,
being
yeah,
extra evil. Like, let's kind of tone down her evil because she's still on the same team. Like, and she's got the same goals as everybody else. Like, they're working together here. She seems kind of a little bit too self-centered, working on her by herself. Like,
right.
we've got the same team. We're on the same team here. Let her be less evil. She's still evil because she kidnapped kids, but like a little bit less evil. All right.
You know what? I am going to agree with you. I am also going to give this a 6.5. And really for the same reasons, I think
Mhm.
Halsey, they're making her, she's too evil. It's just like, you mean you would destroy everything, everyone around you,
Mm.
just so that you can find out like how this artifact works, what sort of technology you can grab from it, yada yada yada. It just seems really strange, and it also seems really
Mhm.
strange that throughout episode number 8, Allegiance, there was like no off switch to anything. Just it was
Yeah,
just a
he can
lot
do
of
whatever.
goofery going off. Master Chief having sex. Them bringing like Maki into the room with the artifact. Like
Those security
really,
guards, she just wandered over there like, "Oh, this is where I'm supposed to go." Like, what the
Master
hell?
Chief in this entire episode walking around without his Spartan suit on.
Goodness, man. Like,
Come on.
why?
He's walking around in
Why?
pajamas, basically. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, you know, Kai just doing her whole Molly thing. It's, so, I mean, it
I
was a,
like Kai, right?
yeah, I like Kai too. It was a fun episode to watch for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Visually, it was like pretty sick. But
Mm.
again, not even being a Halo person, I just thought a lot of it was like, it felt really stupid. And it kind of felt like a TV show too today.
Yeah, it didn't feel
You
like a
know,
movie. It
like,
felt like definitely like a TV show, yeah.
yeah, it felt like a TV show. And I don't know. I
Mm.
mean, we watch episodic stuff on streaming services, and some of it looks cinematic. Just like this
Yeah.
stuff should be in a theater. So
Yeah.
I
This
don't know
doesn't
about
look
this.
like it belongs in a theater. This definitely looks
Yeah,
like a TV show.
yeah. Today, yeah, this episode definitely looked like a TV show for sure.
Mm.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.